Well, I'm finally going to get started on the body work on this damn thing. I don't have too much to do, so I don't think it's going to take too long, actually. But first, I want to get these things up on these jack stands so I can use a nice little chair, probably even, to sit here and work on it. I think the big problem is going to be doing the bottom of these doors because I don't want to take them off. Just take the inside off. And looks like there's a little lip right here. Possibly I can cut right across that lip, do a flange, and just do the last 2 inches on here. Do it that way. In other words, it's not going to be perfection, but it'll be new metal, and I'll do a solid weld all the way across. I don't really have a lot to do, I don't think. You know, the floor is good. One thing that might be a problem is in here, but the way I'm probably going to do this, I'll take this plastic off, I'll put something over here to for the heat, cut this out, weld a plate in here. I'll use some pins on a plate to hold it in place, weld it in, and then next to this side here where I can't weld because I'll melt that, I'll just use some panel adhesive, so it'll be welded all around here with 16 gauge, some pretty heavy stuff, and one line of panel adhesive. And then when I get inside here, I'll inject I'm probably going to use frame saver versus the Cosmoline. It's got a real long wand. I can go all the way down in there. Same thing with this plate. The floor's all good, the bed's all good, most of it's good. So get this side up on the other jack stand and make it a lot easier to work on. So first thing I'll be doing is cutting this out. I've got to find my air nibbler too. If I don't, I'll just use the grinding wheel. And might not be too bad. But I've been having a problem getting going on it because I've got so many other projects going on. But I know once I get focused on this, I'll kick ass, because just a matter of staying on it. Well, I just took off the plate, you know what I mean, freaking trim. So I guess I'll just cut right here, probably come down a little bit like that, and then chop this out, maybe with the air chisel or something, I'm not sure. I got the cutoff wheel, that'll work fine. I don't need the air nibbler for that. The air cutoff wheel will work fine. Yeah, and make sure you use a cutoff wheel versus a grinding wheel. Cutoff wheel it's a little thinner. It'll cut better. Well, you can see why this was rusting out. Look at all this crap that's in here. So I'll get the air and blow this all out of here. And take the air chisel, get this crap out of here. And actually, I'm probably gonna sandblast this a little bit and coat it with some of the copper paint, so it doesn't, get screwed up when it's welding. Then I'll go through on the top in the bed, just drill a little hole in the bed, go through here with the wand, the chassis saver, the frame saver wand, blast all inside here. That'll do it. Well, I got this out of here, cleaned it up a little bit. The air chisel took care of it pretty good. That's handy. It's a cheap one. Just had a couple basic tools with it, but blew it out with air. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sandblast this and hit it with some of that copper coat stuff, the weld-through primer, in case it gets too hot and burns off any kind of coating I put on there. And then, like I said, I'll get through the top, because up through here, I can spray all that stuff in there to make sure this is all cleaned out in here too. Get some air in here and blow this out. Get that all clean. Well, I got it pretty damn clean with a little portable sandblaster. Paid 20 bucks for it. I'm just using play sand, and I don't think there's a problem with play sand. Even if you're using it on panels, it's such a small sander, it won't warp a body panel. It's not like a big giant thing. Now, what I use to clean off stuff usually before paint anything, and I decided to paint it with rust reformer, then some high heat 2000 degree Rust-Oleum shit for like headers. It's not going to be welded on directly, it's just that the sparks might touch that, but then it's going to get frame saver from the inside. I'm going to go through the bed. There's a little tiny hole I can put in there and then seal it up with a weld. I can go through with a wand and get all this all up in here with a wand, and I'll save the Cosmoline for other purposes. So I'm going to clean this off chemically the fast way. Starting fluid. No bullshitting around, man, I'm telling you. And you just take your air hose here. I mean, I really cleaned it good sandblaster, so like it's you know, this dries off quick. It's chemically clean. It's going to definitely stick. So I'm going to put a shot of this stuff on it, then a shot of high heat. Then all I got to do is cut out some cardboard to this size, just a little bit overlap, about a ½ inch down to here. Then I put that over the I'm going to put 16 gauge, not 18 or 20 gauge. I'm going to put like the 16 gauge, like this shit, like the original stuff. There'll be a flange overlap on it, and a bead all the way across there, little spots, just with the flux welder, and then we'll seal it up with some. Well, we'll see what I'll use on it. I'm probably going to use a little light coat of panel adhesive to make sure those pinholes in the wells are freaking sealed really good, for that they can't freaking get through. Okay, so that's a good coat of Rust-Oleum rust reformer. If there's any microscopic rust left over, it'll turn it into a hard paintable, primed surface. Then we're going to go over that high heat stuff. Like I said, actually on the inside of it's going to get the frame saver stuff. I think it's from Eastwood. It's got a 3-foot long wand. I can get in all these places all behind here. Just coat the shit out of it to get the frame coated and everything. I'll tell you one thing, the body shops will never do this shit. Most of them. I'd say 99% easy will not do this shit. They'll put a piece of metal over it. They'll make the paint look really nice. It might last a little while, but the metal behind it will not be protected that well. It will not go to this 9th length, so you're better off doing it yourself. I'm running out of light here though, so I always get delayed doing this stuff because I got so many other projects going on. But when I do this, my method of doing it is going to be in small pieces. I'm going to do one section, get everything done with it, primed, paint it. I'm actually just going to use spray can prime and spray can paint. When I go to paint the car, that'll stuff will DA off real fast, but in other words, one section is going to be done at a time. I'm not going to take this whole damn car apart like in a million pieces. I'm not doing that shit. Okay, so I just hit it with some, you know, this is not strong enough for welding, but I'm not welding directly on that, so if any of the high heat from the weld won't bubble this paint, that's maybe an inch away, so I figured that's better shit to put on there. And this way it should be like rust destroyed with this stuff, any stuff I missed with the sandblasting. So anyway, I'm going to flange this next, and I might even flange it right now. Yeah, flange it right now. It's getting dark out. Start putting some stuff away. And I'm just going to upload a quick video on this to say I started it. So once I start on something, usually, you know, I get focused. I have a habit of getting on one thing at a time. Just never got onto this, but I got all my shit in line though, so I should go on this like cookie cutters. And here's my cheapo flange tool. You can see, like when you squeeze the handle, watch the jaws. What it does is it makes a little stepped edge in there. See that? So in other words, here, this is just a hair lower, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So it'll overlap. Now over here I can't fit the tool in here, so what I'll do is I'll just tap this down a hair, and you know, I'll cut a piece of cardboard out that'll be an exact fit in here, and roll it with my hand around a tree or something, or a pipe, you know, so it has a slight real roll. And the body line that rolls starts to roll right here. That's the middle of the roll, so it's right here. So I'm actually just below that roll, and you won't notice it. You know, the best thing too, anything you don't have too perfect on the bottom is a place to notice the least. The higher, if it's like if you have body work, you should pay attention. Well, if you're really good, you pay attention to everything. But from here to here, and the hood, and even the roof, especially the hood and the top part of the body, that's the part you notice the most. Way down there, that's where the body's like curving under like that. You notice that the least. That's where the rust is. So don't be afraid to stick some metal in there. I'll show you how and actually you don't even need a welder. I can show you what I did on my Jeep. I never even sanded it down. I just freaking, see, that's it. hit it, so it doesn't use much air too. The thing is, I've just been using it a while. It's not a tool that requires a big compressor, like an air grinder or something. So I'm gonna have to stop this now because I gotta put this shit away before it gets too dark. You know, it doesn't look that dark in the camera, but the sun's already behind the horizon. Yeah, don't be afraid to do this down here because we're putting in new metal, because you will not notice any of your bodywork imperfections as much down here when it curves down, when you're looking at it from the top. Like, I got the car way up off the ground right now to make it easier to work on, so I can see what the hell I'm doing too. But I will get it with the board sander and all that kind of crap, so it's probably going to come up to professional standards even. So don't be afraid to do this shit. And if you don't have a welder, I'll show you how you can do this with just panel adhesive. Panel adhesive is probably preferable for shit like this anyway, because it's not structural. But I'm going to weld it in, probably use a little panel adhesive down here on the bottom, because this is where all the shit catches. And I'm thinking is, I'd rather have that glued in there and a place where nothing can start real well screwing up. And this, I'll have to make something for this piece back here. I don't think it's gonna be a big deal, man. This shit ain't gonna take much. I'm only working on it a couple hours, but I started late like usual. Yeah, actually you can get away without an air compressor. This is I got two of these electric DAs. I got an air compressor that's not bad. It's a stand-up 30-gallon Kohler Campbell Housing, whatever the hell, Campbell Housing, house filled. But you can get away with all electric. You don't even need that flange tool. You can if you wanted to, you can just bend this lip down here a little bit, put the plate behind it, and put a couple screws in there. And you can also you can actually put a couple screws in there, hold it like with some tension, grind behind this, put the plate behind it, use panel adhesive, and put it on there. It'll stay. Panel adhesive is like 30 bucks for a little thing, but you can do quite a bit with it. You can put a whole quarter panel on it, so you can do a lot of patch panels with it. You can get away with doing absolutely no air compressor. You can use a leaf blower with a concentrator nozzle, and you can get that $100 pressure washer, which is freaking great for your engine. That'll do a lot of this stuff anyway. So, and also I use awesome cleaner. That awesome cleaner works better than engine cleaner. I use starting fluid for everything to clean shit off with. I do the shit the redneck way, man. It does work. It does work. So I just want to tell you a couple of tips, because this shit is not that hard. It's just that you gotta find time to do it, and that's why I like doing it in pieces. Like, I was just doing a little bullshit here and there, stopping some rust. I figure when I do this, I'll do this section, I'll do one section in there, and it'll get done. Yeah, and little cat buddy's out there. You can see it's dark already. I got the side light on. He's eating his food. Here we go, buddy.